Hey guys, it's Liz from Eating Vegan Simplified. Today I am going to make a zucchini parmesan sandwich. It's really very delicious, and as you can see, there's not very many ingredients. These are what you would need. I have a couple of zucchini, a tomato, I have some cheese, some sauce, some bread, some breadcrumbs, and some flaxseed. And anyway, I'll talk about that because you might not have all of that. This, you could definitely substitute stuff, you know. So like if you don't have zucchini, but you have a different kind of squash, that's okay. I like zucchini on this because zucchini doesn't have much of a, like it's kind of not a lot of flavor. So anyway, I'm just gonna cut it in half, and then I'm gonna just make, you know, thin slices. You know, they don't have to be exact. Mine are never exact. I'm just gonna cut up some, and enough for 2 sandwiches. So depending on how big your zucchini is, I don't know, what do you think, John? Maybe 1 zucchini is good enough for both sandwiches? That's what I'm thinking. I took out 2, but maybe I only need 1. I hate to have a lot of leftovers, really. There's just 2 of us in the house. So maybe I just make this 1. So let's say 1 zucchini, okay? And then you want to bread it. So I'm using flaxseed. If you're not familiar with ground flaxseed, here's a giant lifetime supply of ground flaxseed. If you have that, great. And the ratio is 3 to 1. So one tablespoon of flaxseed to 3 tablespoons of water. So this is 6 tablespoons of water and 2 tablespoons of flaxseed, and it sort of acts like egg, right? So you dip it in like that, and you let it sit out for a little bit. But it only acts like egg, it's not egg. So you have to be gentle with your zucchini because, you know, it could fall off. It definitely could. You know, egg makes things a lot stickier. So, you know, it's not going to be exactly like egg, but it will help. It's better than having nothing on there, right? So you could use flaxseed. If you don't have flaxseed, something sometimes I use is aquafaba, which is the liquid that is in the cans of chickpeas. So you could use that as well. That's that like kind of eggy, sticky kind of, you know, consistency. And if you have none of the above, you could even use some plant milk, you know, just to kind of wet it. I guess water if you had to. But yeah, so I think this would be plenty for 2 sandwiches, really.
I think so too.
Yeah, so I'm only going to use 1 zucchini. But if you're making more than 2 sandwiches, then use more zucchini. And also depends on how big your zucchini is. These are kind of mediocre, medium size, I guess. So yeah, so the kind of breadcrumbs. So these are Italian breadcrumbs. I like to have an Italian seasoning on this because it's kind of an Italian dish like Parmesan, you know. But if you don't have Italian breadcrumbs, just add a little Italian seasoning to some panko breadcrumbs or some regular breadcrumbs, and then you will have Italian breadcrumbs. So you could see I'm not doing it real carefully. As long as there are some breadcrumbs on there, then it's good enough. And we'll just try to finish it off real quick. Yeah, so just kind of coat it in the flaxseed, get it on there. Your hands will get dirty, that's okay. And then just get some breadcrumbs on here. So this is a really easy and hearty kind of meal because it's kind of like a big like sandwich. You know, you can see all this bread. You don't have to have it on a sandwich. You could have it on a dish and then maybe serve some pasta on the side or just on a dish by itself, you know. And probably with this, I will serve a salad. So yeah, maybe some Italian dressing to keep the theme going, you know. I make my own dressing and I make it with olive oil, lemon juice, and garlic salt. And I've been making that forever. That is my mom's recipe that I grew up with. And I've made that forever and it's really delicious. So there you go. It didn't take all that long. Okay, so I'm washing my hands because they're really pretty gross. Okay, so So I am going to cook those. Let me get this out of the way. I am going to cook those, and I was thinking, you know, what do I want to put on it? But maybe I'll put some sliced tomatoes on it once it's done, you know, so that, let me get some of this mess out of here, so that just a little something extra. I like tomatoes that are hot, you know, like roasted tomatoes. So I'm just going to go ahead and quickly slice up some tomato slices that I could put on the side, or put on the sandwich rather. Okay. So yeah, so you can see nothing real difficult here. Also, I'm going to be using some mozzarella cheese. This is obviously not really mozzarella cheese. It is vegan mozzarella cheese. I like this BioLife, but I like other ones. I like, what is that, Follow Your Heart. I have that as well sometimes. You know, there's some decent ones. Okay, let's go over here and get the zucchini in the pan. And it doesn't take very long to cook at all. You just kind of want to brown it. Just, you know, I would say a few minutes on each side, maybe 3 to 5 minutes, depending on, you know, how hot your pan is and how quickly it's cooking. Just kind of check it. But, you know, like I said, please be gentle with it, because the breadcrumbs can come off, because you're not using egg, you're using something other than egg, like flaxseed or aquafaba or milk or whatever you're using, plant milk. So, just realize that you can see I have a little bit of oil. I don't have a ton of oil in here. I think you do need some oil. Well, I guess, you know what? If you didn't want to cook this in oil, you could put a 350 oven and just bake it, you know. I would say maybe bake for, I don't know, maybe check it after 10 minutes and maybe flip it over and check another 10 minutes, you know, because if you slice them thin, they're going to get done pretty quickly. So if you didn't want to fry them in oil, you could totally put them in the oven and that would be fine. So, yeah, and I think the Italian seasoning is nice. If you don't have Italian seasoning, add some garlic at least, maybe a little garlic and like oregano or something, and that's kind of Italian seasoning-ish. Get rid of this dish. Yeah, so you just could let this go, and so you could do this with lots of things. You know, you could also do some variations, like add some sliced mushrooms, and you could bread those or not bread those, maybe just saute them and then put them on the sandwich. So there's so many variations that you could do. So, you know, just use your imagination, or just use whatever it is you have in your refrigerator right now that you're looking to use up. But I think right now it is zucchini time. I see so many people posting like, I have all this zucchini and I don't know what to do with it. And I do have another zucchini recipe that's also really delicious, which is like a stuffed zucchini. So if you want to try something like that, you could look for that recipe. But yeah, so you just, easy peasy, right? Just going, that's it. That's all that's going to happen there. So, yeah, please let me know, like I always say, if you have something that you would like me to make. I'm happy to make it, or something that you used to eat like before you were vegan, that like you're thinking, oh, I wish I could have a vegan version of it. Ask me, I'll try to veganize it for you. So, you know, I'm open for suggestions, so let me know. Okay, let me have a quick look and see what's happening here. See, look, they're already browning. So I'm going to try to gently as I can, you know, and be forgiving of myself if I don't do it perfect, but just flip it over. You could see that was really quick, right? So just a few minutes on each side. Okay, so now we make our sandwich. I am going to put the zucchini right on this bread. It doesn't take very long to fry out. Pretty easy and quick. So there you go. As much or as little as you want. Here's my sauce. I'm going to put on, again, as much or as little as you want. I'm going to do my tomatoes. You could have sauteed mushrooms, you know, you could do whatever. So I put tomato, I put zucchini, and some cheese. And there we go. So now I'm just gonna put it in the oven for maybe, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, something like that. I'm gonna wait, maybe 10 minutes is good enough. Just long enough for the cheese to melt, and then it will be done. Let me stick it in there. I'm gonna just keep an eye on it, and we'll be back. Okay, it's been about, I don't know, maybe 12 minutes or so. I think it should cook. The bread got a little more browned, and the cheese is melted somewhat. You know, vegan cheese doesn't melt exactly like regular cheese, but it's good. And it looks yummy and delicious. And there you go.
It does.
So, thank you, John. So here it is, your vegan zucchini Parmesan sandwich. And I will put all of the ingredients right underneath the video. And so you'll be able to see that there. Also, while you're there, be sure to hit the subscribe button because I have new recipes all the time. I wouldn't want you to miss one. So give this one a try. It's really yummy, and happy cooking.